going to show you the 1 minute mark and then 0 at 7, which means basically there's no time for questions.
And you can use my cane.
And we have a cane from Rob. Just and a dog. If the dog starts barking, you're really in trouble. So we don't want to take a bit more time. We're super excited to see, all the where all the blood, sweat, and tears from the last 2 days has gone. So with that, I think we'll carry it over to Tim Fullerton, who's going to introduce our special guest and get things rolling.
Great. Thanks, Rick. Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Fullerton. I'm the Director of Digital Strategy at the Department of the Interior. And I just wanted to thank everybody for spending such a glorious weekend inside with us, helping us work on different and new ways to get more people interested and active in the outdoors on federal lands. Some of the work that I've seen already is just blowing me away. Things that the federal government probably would not be able to do on our own. And it's really exciting that we can open up this data, have you guys come in and work with us. I think we understand our limitations, and we're really, really excited to bring in the experts like you guys, to do this stuff with us. And the other thing, we're looking at this as the beginning of a conversation. This is not a one-off. This is just the beginning of a lot of work together. We're really, really excited. You have a great partner with the Recreation.gov team, Rick DeLapp and Nell and some others. And it's just really, really exciting to see the energy in the room, see all the people who are here, both from the federal government, White House, and the private sector as well. It's really, really awesome to see everybody here. And I'm really, really excited to see these presentations. And right before we get started, I'm not going to take up any more time, I just want to get to that. I want to introduce Jason Goldman, who is, I believe, the first ever Chief Digital Officer for the White House. So he's going to say a few words. So just welcome Jason.
Thanks very much for having me. Thanks, Tim, for the welcome. It's actually my first week on the job. I started last Monday, so I'm the first, at least until tomorrow. If I get fired then, I'll be a second. So my background before this week was working in startups and working both in New York and San Francisco with online teams. And I was head of product at Twitter for 4 years. Prior to that, I was head of product for a blogger at Google. So the social platforms, content platforms I've worked on, there's kind of two ways of thinking of why those things work or what the point of them is. The kind of more trivial way is thinking I spent an entire career focused on getting people to upload cat pictures to the internet. Which was, it turns out a pretty big market. Something that a lot of people were interested in doing. The second way of looking at it, though, is basically the flip side of that coin, is that it was about enticing people to participate online. And the most important thing I learned from that work was that it's about framing the right question and asking people to come in. And I think that's what's going on here today with the work that all of you are doing. You responded to a tremendous ask to come give up your weekends, work on these projects, engage with the government, think of new ways that citizens could engage with these platforms and this data. And I just want to thank you, first of all, for giving up that time and spending this time with us and thinking of this. One of the things that I've been amazed at since I've entered into government is how willing people are to participate if you just ask them to. If you just ask them the right question, you just ask them to engage with you, they're more than willing to give up their time, they're more than willing to share their perspective, and most of the time it's very constructive and helpful, and it needs to be more of a conversation that we continue, and not just one-off events where we kind of go up and pop our heads up and say, what do you think? Okay, we're going to retreat and work on that for 9 months. So I think this is an excellent example of an effort that Interior is leading for us on how to have one of those conversations. I'm really excited to see everything that gets presented here and hang out with you and talk about those ideas afterwards. Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, first up we have IBM and Ezekiel and Fred. Thank you so much.
All right, well actually Ezekiel started on Monday with IBM as well, so
Not fired yet.
so far he's not fired yet. So we developed an application on IBM's Platform as a Service, which is called Bluemix. And I'm just going to give a quick overview of what Bluemix so that you know what it is. It's an end-to-end platform as a service from a development and a deployment and testing environment. But what makes it unique are the catalog of services that we can combine with the applications. So I'm going to highlight on some of the higher end ones. One of the more interesting ones are the Watson-based APIs. So these are the cognitive computing APIs. And I'm going to showcase one. We didn't use this one, but I thought it was kind of neat. Okay, this is a Personality Insights API. And what I did was I actually inputted in Hillary Clinton's speech from 2008. And I did an analysis, a psychological analysis on Ms. Hillary Clinton. And I was able to actually look at levels of things such as openness and conscientiousness and extroversion, agreeableness, and emotionality range. She was quite fiery during the actual speech in 2008. And you can actually visualize it using this actual graphic right here. It just kind of shows you of the 100 or so services in there, the kind of power that is actually inside of this platform as a service. Now, the one that we actually used was the text-to-speech in there. But what I want to do is I want to hand it over to Ezekiel, which has the actual application running on his machine. And you actually have a, okay, so why did you look at that? So basically, yeah, we're going to switch places. So I'm going to get out of the way. Hopefully this won't count as part of my time as we're doing this back and forth. So one of the things that we looked at is we created 2 Node.js applications, and one of them actually is a backend server application, the other one is a front-end client application. And we actually query the RIDB. We actually send it a parse query based on the location that we're at. We ask it to bring back a subset of the information. We display that along with the weather information that we mashed up for that location, and then we have that using a leaflet-based OpenStreetMap map. And then when you actually mouse over and click on one of the icons, it gives you information from RIDB and the weather. And the thing that we wanted to do with it was to actually have some of the text information come back as a speech to text. So in the final version, which we're not quite there yet, we would want to have Watson actually be able to speak to you when you fire the site. So we're going to actually ask Watson to speak for us. Did everyone hear that? Oh, okay. I didn't know how loud it was on there. So I didn't know my speakers are. So, Ezekiel, I'm going to let you just go ahead and sort of drive it and show what we've got.
Fair enough. As many of you saw, yeah, I know. As many of you saw, nothing actually shows up when I plug this in, except for my desktop background and running Linux. Maybe that has something to do with it, so I'm gonna turn my laptop around and hopefully give you all a quick demonstration. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera over there. So I'm gonna load this front end.
Coming up with a different monitor, like side or cursor on the screen.
So we're going to get a good IBM demo if we didn't have some technical difficulties. Does anybody else have Linux machines? Sounds like well.
Should be able to drag a window over to the other.
Oh, I see what you mean. To a different desktop.
Yeah, just grab it.
There you go.
I have 4 desktops. This is the last one, the third one,
Time's up.
second one, first one.
That's it. Yay! I don't feel so bad.
unfortunately that didn't work out. Later on, I guess we'll have a little session. You can come see me and I'll demonstrate it. Thank you for your time.
We're going to be seated right over there. The key thing is that we, I don't know if I have a copy of it here. Unfortunately, the LCD thing is screwed up our laptops.
I'm not restarting.
We'll be sitting over there if you actually want to see the application, but fundamentally what it does is it's a leaflet-based map that brings back the RADB, and it shows the weather information associated with various recreation assets for a fixed area, and it allows the text-to-speech for some of the information out there in terms of some of the things. So like the weather is for a particular area. Yeah, so.
All right. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, guys. Maybe a technical demonstration of that if you have glitches. That's the way these go.
Actually, Joe, we actually did do this.
All right, next we got the iBeacon team. So Tosha and team, can you guys come on up and we'll get you set up?